Hello Scorpio, welcome to your December 2020 Oracle and Tarot reading. My name is Tessa and this is Tessa's Tarot. Before I jump into your reading, just a couple of quick announcements. If you have been watching my videos, you probably noticed that my background is different. I moved my tarot table from inside my bedroom and put it in the living room. So I did some rearranging, and this is, even though you can't see my living room, this is so much better. I really like this corner for my tarot table because I feel like I can do a lot more with it. I don't necessarily like how it looks right now, but over time I'm hoping to kind of like adjust it and turn it into something a little bit more my style and interesting. So yeah, definitely did some rearranging. Feels a million times better. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling my tarot table in my bedroom at all. I kind of feel like you guys are just hanging out in my living room with me. I have like, you know, some open space over here, so hopefully it works out for you guys, but you know, it's working out for me. So what else? I'm also rocking my Temperance shirt that I got from Dull's Kill because I'm a Sagittarius. Temperance is the Sagittarius card in the major arcana of the tarot, and it has, you know, kind of a Halloween-y, witchy vibe, which I really like. And I actually ordered this shirt before Halloween. It was supposed to come before Halloween, and I was going to do a Halloween special, but it did not show up. It showed up after Halloween, so I'm like, okay, I'll just wear it for the December video. So that's why I'm wearing that. Also, I'm sort of doing something a little bit different for this particular phase of videos, but not really. I decided that I really wanted to tune in a lot more to the cosmic realm with my videos and bring more astrology into my videos. Now, I'm not going to be talking about everything that's going on in our cosmic universe in this video for this month. There are a lot of different things happening, and as time goes on and I learn more and more, I will start incorporating more astrology into my videos and into the tarot readings. But for right now, I really just kind of want to focus on Sagittarius season in general and what that brings, okay? And with us coming out of Scorpio season, which was your guys' season, how we can use, you know, kind of, this is going to be about spiritual guidance, spiritual growth, and inner growth, and how we can transmute some of those deeper, intense, repressed emotions and bring them into higher states of conscious awareness, creative awareness, and, you know, conscious awareness in a way that can benefit us and our relationships with others. And like it's kind of more like how you can use the deeper things that you feel and experience and share it with the world. It's like share your truth in a way that can help your growth, but also can help, maybe like we're focusing on your growth, but it's also really, really great during Sagittarius season to be able to share your deeper knowledge and your deeper wisdom of what you understand your emotions to be in a way that can like educate others. Because Sagittarius season is also about higher education, teaching. You know, sometimes Sagittarius gets a bad rap for being like preachy, for being too blunt and too honest, and I don't have to make people understand, but I'm trying to make people understand that one of the big reasons I think why we get such a bad rap for being so blunt and honest and truthful is like, well, think about, you know, what season comes right before Sagittarius season, Scorpio season, and that is like, Scorpio season is hella deep and intense, and just like it pretty much just lights the fire for Sagittarius to just want to explode, you know. And I think that even though maybe a lot of Sagittariuses don't explain and express why they're so blunt and so honest, I'm pretty sure that it has a lot to do with the fact that they have deeper understanding of why it's not really healthy to keep it in. It's not healthy to like hold on to so much. It's not healthy to keep things repressed. It's not healthy to hold on to our emotions, our deeper emotions, the things that we actually want to say, but we're either too afraid to say it, or we don't care, or we don't know what people are going to think of us. I definitely believe in some restriction. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like, all Sagittariuses are amazing and great because they just speak their truth. No, I think that we're all on a spiritual, I think we all should be on a spiritual journey towards balance and harmony and being able to learn from one another. So it's kind of like one of those give and take situations, like, well, what are you going to learn from Sagittarius season? But what are we going to learn from Scorpio season? And then what are we going to learn from Capricorn season? And then just kind of start over time to integrate that into our own lives and personalities, and so we can be a little bit more of a healthy, more well-rounded community, right? So that's my Sagittarian truth to you. So like ideally the point of, speaking your truth is to help others, not because we want to put people down. So, that's kind of the goal, I think, of transmuting deeper emotions, understanding the deeper wisdom that is going on inside you and the things that you feel, and bringing and channeling it into either something creative. I feel like Scorpio, the energy that you guys have, can be channeled really, really well into something creative, a project, or just finding ways to express yourself that can kind of bring others into your world and be like, oh, I never thought of it that way, I really kind of feel like you guys are masters of taboo subjects, and I feel like you would be really, really good at bringing more taboo subjects, like the more rejected emotions, like anger, sadness, like bringing that into higher levels of awareness, higher levels of social awareness too, so people aren't so afraid of sharing that part of themselves. It's like, why are we so afraid to share that side of ourselves when it's part of us, it's part of the human experience. So with that being said, this December 2020 Sagittarius season video is going to be about like taking some of that heavier, more intense, underlying repressed energy that we're bringing from Scorpio season into Sagittarius season, and kind of like bringing it into higher states of conscious awareness, okay? So I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. This is a great oracle deck because it deals with the phases of the moon to bring some of those hidden energies up to the surface. And then I'm going to pull a tarot card from Mystic Mondays, just so we can see a little bit more in detail about what is going on and what needs to be transmuted. This is a general reading. I like to keep my readings as objective and general as possible, just so I can provide insight and information to as many people as I can. But when we're dealing with tarot, some of the information that I'm going to share might be very specific and might deal with only specific situations. So not everything I say might resonate with you. It will. It might not. But I do try to keep my information and what I share as informative as I possibly can, because I don't like to single people out. That's not my jam. It could be because I'm a Sagittarius. But of course, sometimes there are very specific things that come through. So don't shoot the messenger. Hopefully you stay till the end of the reading and you're able to gain some clarity and insight, and you're able to apply the stuff that I have to share to your situation in a way that's helpful to you. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and pull these Queen of the Moon oracles. We have Blossoming. Okay. So right away, I'm kind of like this. I feel like this is going to be a really good creative time for you, okay? A really good creative time for you. We have acceptance. And we have extremes. Ooh. So there could be somebody that you kind of have the hots for. There could be somebody you have the hots for. Sagittarius season, this fire energy, it could be kind of lighting a match to your... I love the metaphor for Scorpio and Sag. And I came up with this metaphor because I have both Scorpio and Sagittarius in my chart, and both of those signs are really, really concentrated in my chart. So I kind of think of Scorpio as the gasoline and Sagittarius as the match, you know, that like, and it's like once you bring those two together, it's literally an explosion. And I kind of see the whole like rise of the phoenix idea that is attached to Scorpios, because a lot of Scorpios do think of themselves sort of as a fire sign on some level. But I think it's more like gasoline. It's like the gasoline right before it gets lit by fire. So that's how I kind of see you guys. And the fire energy that comes with Sagittarius season, I think is really like, it's kind of like meeting your deeper, more intense, like water energy. And it's like, it's allowing you to kind of like spread your wings and bring it higher. Okay. My vocabulary right now is like kind of jagged. So with the blossoming, I kind of see this blossoming as this December is really going to, it's going to push you from that Scorpio season energy. It's really going to push you to go higher in your understanding of yourself, in your acceptance of yourself, and what it means to transmute those deeper emotions and become the phoenix and become the flame that the Sagittarius energy gives you. These extremes, this hot moon, I mean, this could very much be sexual. You know, you might receive that feeling and those energies through sexual encounters. So this might be a really, really hot time for you guys to like get it on. And if this isn't a sexual experience or like a romantic experience or whatever, it could just be experiencing some of the extremes of your emotions, okay? And bringing them out into the open and like expressing them. So I don't know, maybe you're gonna like pop off on somebody. I don't really see it in a bad way though. I kind of see it as like, I feel like this season is gonna push you to be more expressive. To share more, to like share your information, share your truth, share your knowledge, your creativity. Like I'm really kind of feeling that. Okay, so let's jump into the tarot. We have the Five of Cups. This is Mars in Scorpio. This is your card. So this card talks about disappointment, loss, regret. So there could be, you know, this could be part of some of those deeper emotions that you are bringing into Sagittarius season, that maybe you need to work through and bring up into the surface. Some feelings of there could be just some feelings lingering underneath, okay, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something that happened recently. It could just be something that is like a repressed emotion. It can be something that happened like 10 years ago, but for some reason, maybe because the holiday seasons are coming up, like something is kind of coming up, some repressed feelings are starting to come up and like nudge at you, you know, like be like, hey, remember me? And you're like, ugh, you know. Ace of Wands is a new beginning in passion, creativity. Ace of Wands is fire energy, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. This can be a new beginning in inspiration. You're feeling inspired, creativity. an idea for new I don't really associate the Ace of Wands with an idea so much as I do with like an inspiration or a message or like some kind of creative maybe like download. I think of ideas more as like the Ace of Swords, but the Ace of Wands is very spiritual. It's very creative. It's passionate. So it can also be like a desire to go out and do something new, or a desire to maybe go towards a person, you know, like somebody maybe you have like the hots for or something like that. But I am definitely seeing like this repressed energy, this more intense, like, you know, maybe some of these like deeper emotions of disappointment. It's kind of like wanting you to bring it out into the surface. With this Ace of Wands over here, I really feel this is, you know, this season is wanting you to push it up and out. Okay, and I was thinking like maybe channel it into something. So with this Eight of Pentacles, which is Sun in Virgo, yeah, to channel it into something creative, you know, to like, to transmute those deeper emotions and put it into a creative project, to put it into your work or some kind of artistic endeavor. But something that makes you happy, something that really allows you to enjoy the details of your work, okay? I'm really feeling this is, and that's going to help you blossom. Like the more detailed you can get with your project, with your creativity, I feel the better it's going to be for you. The more fulfilled you're going to feel, like on a soul level. Okay, for acceptance, we have King of Wands. This is Leo energy, more fire over here. Yeah, and then kind of like becoming a leader. Becoming a leader, a creator of your own path. This is somebody who's very much a leader. I kind of see the King of Wands as like a what's the word? He's like the voice of the children. That's not really what I was thinking originally, but that's what ended up coming out because I couldn't for the life of me think of exactly what it was I wanted to say. It's becoming it's really about harnessing your power, okay? Understanding the power that you have within you, harnessing that power and rising it into creative awareness and expression and sharing that information and that depth as like, you know, as fuel for your creativity. Like, don't be afraid to say, yes, I'm a deep motherfucker, you know, like this is who I am, and this is what I can give you. And now we have the King of Swords. This is Aquarius energy. I find this interesting. This could be somebody, two kings. I find this really interesting. So, I feel like once you're able to harness this power that you have and turn it into like a fierce form of creativity and leadership for yourself, it's really going to bring you into a new element of understanding how you relate with the world. Because the King of Swords is Aquarian energy. And although I didn't mention it in the beginning of the video, this month is going to be very, very significant, especially on December 21st, when I definitely recommend you checking out maybe some YouTube videos about it. But just to kind of like do a brief little summary, Jupiter and Saturn are going to be conjunct in Aquarius, and that is going to be the beginning of our descent, ascension, a descent, I don't know, pick one, into our, like, into our, it's bringing us into our next phase of kind of restructuring our system. Okay, so we're slowly going to be, we're entering into the age of Aquarius, which is going to bring a lot of the mental and intellectual faculties to the forefront. So it's really gonna emphasize the ability to explain yourself and be informative in a way that is kind of like for the collective, or for like the, I want to say for the greater good, but I don't want to like focus this video so much on how you're going to help others. I want to focus it on how it's going to help you help yourself. Okay, so we're going to focus on like personal growth. So it's like if you're able to intellectually express and explain some of the things, some of the deeper truths that you have become aware of and have come to a sort of conscious and creative understanding, it's kind of telling you, okay, well, try to take it to the next level now. Okay, so you're being creative with your emotional energy. You're expressing it, but how are you going to intellectualize it in a way that, can be discussed? I don't know if that makes sense, but like how can we now turn it into something that can actually be contemplated and articulated and discussed in a more philosophical framework. It might be a lot. Honestly, like maybe you just have an Aquarius in your surroundings. Maybe this is a person that you know, that you have some kind of relationship with. I'm also kind of getting this other weird feeling, like this is a little bit of a challenge for you. Like you're really coming into your full power. You know, you're rising from the ash, you're coming into your full creative power, and it's like now you have to deal with some of this other energy, and it's like there's a little bit of friction. So there's a little bit of friction. Seven of Swords, Moon in Aquarius, because, well, when you're dealing with Aquarius energy doesn't like to share their emotions. You know, they're kind of like the ones that will ghost, you know, like, so this energy is probably not something that you really vibe with, because you are about loyalty and just kind of like, it could be a little bit more difficult for you to understand this kind of energy, since it tends to be a little like sneaky and conniving and just kind of like, I don't know. Aquarians don't really express their feelings very much. It also depends on what your birth chart looks like. So, you know, if you're a Scorpio that has air in your chart, you could, you know, be just fine with Aquarian energy. But there is kind of a feeling of maybe there could be someone in your surroundings that you're attracted to them. These are two masculine energies. And it doesn't mean it just, you know, just apply it to your own life, but it's two masculine energies, because King of Wands and King of Swords are both They're both masculine, extroverted. So I do kind of feel like it could be someone that maybe you're attracted to, that you like, but they're kind of playing a little, you know, like they're kind of playing a little game with you, and you're like, I don't know. So I feel like the story can kind of go a lot of different ways with this. Let's keep going. So for extreme, we have Seven of Cups. This is also your card. This is Venus in Scorpio. A lot of fantasizing going on here, okay? It looks like you have a lot of options. So this Aquarius energy, it could be someone in your surroundings. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a love interest. It could be someone, I'm feeling it as maybe a love interest or someone that you just kind of have your eye on. You're kind of like curious about them. You're like, what's he all about or she all about? Like, what's up with them, you know? Because with this Seven of Cups, it's kind of like, oh, well, you have a lot of options on the table. Like, there's a lot of different possibilities for romance. There's a lot of different possibilities for emotional expression and connection. So you might get lost a little bit in fantasy land. You know, a little bit of illusion going on here. And not really knowing what to pick, what to choose, like too much sparkle, a little too much sparkle. And then we have the Death card. This is your card. What is coming to an end over here? Could it be this relationship with this Aquarius? You know, like maybe you like had an attraction to somebody, but then you realized you had a lot of options, and then you decided like, okay, well, that's not really somebody that I want after all. There's definitely an ending to something. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, this is Sun in Capricorn. Okay, so this is really interesting how this story is unfolding, because it's like basically what I'm seeing is, sorry, I have a little bit of sniffle. Basically what I'm seeing is like you have you are drawn very much in a passionate kind of way, in a sexual kind of way towards somebody. But they're a little like aloof and in their own world, and maybe a little bit too independent. Maybe they're not showing you enough interest. So you start looking, you kind of like keep your options open. You kind of keep your little fantasy world in that realm of dreams. But it seems like none of that really comes into fruition, and there's like a feeling of just like screw it all, you know, like death to it all. And then you end up just holding on to your own stuff. Like you don't end up really expressing yourself. Like maybe you don't know, maybe the person that you really want to go towards, you don't really know what to say to them. You don't know how to share yourself with them because of their energy, because of the way that they behave. They kind of behave in like this ghostly kind of manner. So the story is kind of ending with you just kind of like keeping to yourself. It's like you end up just keeping to yourself, you know, like, and you don't really express and share. But it's like you know, it's like you met your match. You know, king, you become a king, but then it's like, well, what do you do when you meet another king? How can those two energies come together? But it kind of looks like the ball's in your court, though, to be completely honest. It kind of looks like it's in your court. So, you know, this is kind of interesting how this unfolded. But yeah, see, I told you, sometimes the messages can get really specific. But The whole point, I think, of the King of Wands, of this creative fire energy, it's like to go for it. And even though they're all extroverted, they're both extroverted, the King of Swords and the King of Wands, the energy, especially with this Ace of Wands over here, and with everything that's going on around here, the energy is pushing you to make a move. It's telling you, it's pushing you to be the one to take action. Okay? Not to get too caught up in your head about it, not to get too caught up in the fantasy of it, in the illusion of it, but to actually like but to just take a chance, to like go for it, because you never know what can happen. You never know. Okay, so this is in all honesty the message. So this very specific message is probably not going to resonate with everybody, but I hope you're able to learn something, because it can be a really great learning experience to learn how to harness your power to where you're not afraid to just kind of go for something and just take a chance. I mean, Sagittarius season is all about taking risks, breaking boundaries, and really just like not just feeling that power that you have within you and harnessing it, but actually doing something with it. Like, don't just feel it and like you're just ready for anything. I kind of feel like it's a little bit of it's a little stagnant, you know, but to actually use it to your advantage and to take that chance and to take that risk, and to really kind of embrace that fire energy and communicate and go after what it is you want. Okay, so that is my message to you. Come back for mid-December. Come back for mid-December and we'll see where you're at, okay? Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.